Morning, folks. As always, if you like this sort of thing, drop a like on the video, drop a sub on the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Helps out a lot. Alright, so today, what have we got today? We have a Richthofen replay. It's been about a week since I featured Louise and his Richthofen. Now, like I said, I don't play CVs, so when I get sent a CV replay, then I always want to feature it. And the reason is I think everybody can learn from it. In the next couple of days, I will be featuring something different. Busy grinding my lightning, grinding my Le Fantastique, or Le Fantastique, however you want to pronounce it, and had some cracker games the last few days in that. So, he's in a squad, while in a division. He's got a Colbert and a Holland with him. Go in the Colbert, and it's on the map Shatter. This is one of my favorite maps, but it's not the worst map. Most fun I've ever had on this map was taking him to Massachusetts and a Bismarck straight into the B camp. But you can only do that in sort of tier 6 to 8 matches. You can't do that in tier 10s. Alright, so he's doing the usual scouting thing with his rocket planes. Finds himself a booster. And he rockets the booster. 3 pins, 6 pins, 3 overpins. 5,500 damage. Now we see Louis pre-drop. With this, as he creates swimming pools for the kids on the island there. We've discussed the tactical pre-dropping quite a few times on the channel. This is the first time that you're watching, as he recalls the torpedo bombers. This is the first time you're watching one of the CV replays. Pre-dropping is essentially sending one of your squadrons back to the carrier early, and therefore allowing your squadrons to be, well, yourself not to be deplaned towards the end of the map. You only get X amount of planes that regenerate, and a pre-drop means that if you do a run on the enemy ships and these squadrons get destroyed before you can send them back, you have planes in reserve. We see Louise coming for a torpedo run on a Kremlin. And as you can see, most of the 2 squadrons are gone there. There's only got 1 squadron remaining, only 1 torpedo hit. 2 planes remaining. Comes in on a booster. 1 torpedo drop, and the squadron is gone. He does get a defender ribbon and a flood. And these AP bombs pre-drops sends the 1 squadron back. So instead of 12 planes, he's now got 9 planes in the group. But he will have those 3 planes later. AP bomb on a booster, 3 defended ribbons, and a citadel. That booster is not a happy camper. That doesn't take much to citadel a booster. I have the booster, I'm not a big fan of it. The meta has slightly changed, then it just gets overshadowed by things like the Colbert and the Smolensk. Speaking of Smolensks, or something sitting in smoke there, Louise tries to do a torpedo drop on something in the smoke. Looks like he misses. And he's going to cross drop now with an idea of where the culprit is. Now his team is already 2 planes down, but he gets 2 hits. You never say you can't torpedo something in smoke. Pre-drop sends one of the squadrons back. And the Smolensk has finished off that booster, but he's left quite hurt. So there's a Kurfürst that's obviously having a bad day, as well as the Kremlin. Both of them have decent AA. OP Kremlin's AA has been nerfed several times. And he gets a citadel on the Kremlin. Double checks the map. His team has sunk it up Kurfürst. And he gets another 2 citadels on the Kremlin. He's already at 61,000 damage with 4 citadels, 4 torpedo hits. His team needs caps though. They're equal on ship sunk. And you can see Spartan Blood in the chat typing there, we need a cap. And the Smolensk is deciding, hey, I'm going to be a destroyer, I'm going to go cap. I've done that in my Smolensk as well. Speaking of Smolensks, Luis finds the enemy Smolensk. Oof, and he takes half of his health away. 8 rocket hits, 2 citadels. That had to hurt. Friendly Montana detonates at Des Moines. Good heavens. When last did you see that happen? Then again, yes, it was yesterday or the day before I detonated a Smolensk in my Des Moines using an AP shell. That was hilarious. So while we're talking Smolensks, looks like Louise is trying to find this Smolensk. He wants to remove him from this cap. A little bit difficult to torpedo is Smolensk. It's got great maneuverability. This one didn't. 3 hits and he's destroyed. Well done, Louise. And he has still more planes left. So here's this poor Kremlin again. And he gets 2 hits and a flood on that Kremlin. And we are 8 minutes into the game and he's already at 90,000 damage. And he types to the team, let me work the Kremlin. Tunny in the Holland says, torpsing to be. And it is so important to communicate with your team. I've been having a lot of fun playing in divs lately, because it's just a lot of fun. You've got at least 2 other people on the team that you can rely on. So now there's a Montana being chased by a Kaba. Yes, a Kaba. Somebody is playing a Khabarovsk. I couldn't believe it when I watched the replay the first time to record it. Somebody was playing a Khabarovsk. Single torpedo bomber survives, and he throws the torpedo at the Kaba. Now, the Kaba is the poster child of power creep, and he actually gets a hit on the Kaba with a torpedo. Go and look in port. Take the Conqueror, and then take the Khabarovsk. The Khabarovsk has worse rudder shift than the Conqueror, which is a tier 10 battleship. Yeah, the Kaba is really the poster child of power creep. I was actually going up that line, and I decided against it, and that's when I started doing the British, French, and the Pan-European. Louise goes AP bombs onto the Kremlin again. Ooh, 2 more citadels. He's got sufficient planes remaining for a second strike. Turns around. Nice, nice center aiming reticle. Another citadel and 3 hits. And that Kremlin is almost dead. Now Louise decided to move his carrier onto the east side of the map because of the Khabarovsk and that Montana, and there is a Zao as well. Unfortunately, those aren't the biggest problems. The biggest problems is the fact that the team doesn't have any other caps. They've only got 1 cap and they need the points. So it is really not looking very good at the moment. Ooh, friendly Kremlin hits the enemy Kremlin in the stern and takes him out. Fantastic. Then it is time to find another target. This is gross Kurfürst. Oof, double citadel with 3 penetrations on that Kurfürst. Unfortunately for the Kurfürst, there was a Smolensk nearby, and obviously the Smolensk AA is actually pretty good. Also, let me know if the sound of this voiceover is a little bit better. I found my sponge pop filter. I noticed over the last few voiceovers there's been a bit of a voice pop. Or if I should invest in a proper one of those pop filters that you see people use. And here's the Khabarovsk. So, Khabarovsk along with the Zao. Louise decides the Zao is obviously a bigger target, a fatter target. And the friendly Montana blaps the enemy Zao for a flesh wound. So Louise has to call off the attack run. And he can now freely pursue this Khabar. Fortunately, enemy Montana takes out the friendly Kremlin. Torpedo run. Those torpedoes are so wide that Khabar gets through them. And unfortunately, Louise didn't have a correct approach run there due to having to call off that run on that Zao. So let's see if you can do a little bit better here. They might not arm in time, but let's see. Now the stream of fire there is from Ecology. He's in a Colbert, and a Khabar versus a Colbert is an interesting fight. He's got a Yoshino with him, and the Yoshino's HE is phenomenal. Tunny, meanwhile, has killed the enemy midway, so now Louise has got clear skies. So the Colbert is chasing off the Khabar, and we see Louise coming up for an attack run here on the enemy Montana. Three penetrations, no citadel. It's still a good hit, and he's still got 2 full squadrons and 2 planes remaining. Oh, 1 plane now. Lines up nicely on the Montana. Oh, he hits 1 citadel on the stern there. So this match is not won by no means, but it is looking a little bit better for them. They are trying to take B cap. It's heavily contested, but they are winning the ship attrition battle, which is keeping them going, for lack of a better term. So there's the enemy Smolensk. Louise is slingshotting around the island, keeping away from his AA bubble. Yoshino has just taken about a third of his health away there. Smolensk tries to do a bit of a suicide torp, gets about 8 kilometer torps. Oof, 5 citadel, 7 penetrations, and he destroys the second Smolensk. Well done, Louise. And with 5 minutes remaining in the game, we can see Louise is at 171,000 damage. the enemy.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
The enemy is finally realizing that we might be in a bit of shit here. Tunney in his Holland is capping A cap, stalling the points with their battleship. And the Kremlin and the Montana in B ram each other. So B's points are still going to be ticking, but it's literally this Montana at the back of the map, and then the Kaba that Eco is still chasing, that is remaining. 2 citadels for 3 penetrations on the Montana there. The Montana is running the Halloween crocodile camouflage. Or did I say costume? It looks more like a costume than a camouflage. I have that camo for my North Carolina. It's pretty cool. And Tunney in Holland has started moving into B to deny them cap points. Louise comes for a beautiful torpedo run. 3 hits on the side of the Montana. And there's some additional shells coming in from the team. Comes around, drops them, they should arm. And Louise has started getting within almost secondary range of this Montana with his Richthofen. If you've watched me feature Louise before, he has a tendency to take his ships, his carriers into caps. Oh, 3 citadels. Incapacitation. He is losing health on his Richthofen, but he's going to finish this Montana before the Montana can take out his CV. Bit of a Hail Mary white drop there. Three more hits. 2 secondary hits. AP bomb. Citadel. And he kills Montana, and he's at 235,000 damage. Now with only the enemy Khabarovsk remaining, he is running for his life from ecology in the Colbert. And the team actually wasn't salty. There's a guy from Euro. Taco, thank you all for not making it 12 losses in a row. And the Yoshino kills the Khabarovsk. If we look at his after stats screen, we can have a quick look. 3 kills, 3 floods, 23 citadels, 28 bomb hits, 16 torpedo hits, 16 secondary hits, and obviously 25 rocket hits. Oh man, 235,000. Talk about carrying. Louise, thank you for sending this replay. It is much appreciated. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Cheers.